Hi everybody. I want to do a video about how to get these studio files into Design Space. Design Space is the software that runs Cricut machines. And I have a Maker. I rarely use it. I'm not a big fan. It does cut very nicely. I just find the software really clunky, and as I've said before, I'm a control freak, and you can't control it. It kind of does what it wants to do. A lot of stuff's pre-programmed. A lot of options are locked down, or it just doesn't do. But you can still use Silhouette Studio to design and then upload it. You can get and pay for the business edition version of Silhouette Studio, and you can save it as an SVG and within Silhouette Studio and then upload it. The problem with that is it doesn't upload at the same size. Design Space reconfigures, so you would have to then go in and resize all of the pieces in Design Space. Another option, which is what I do, I actually, if I'm going to be doing something for my Cricut and sizing is really important, I actually take my files, if I design it in Studio, and I run it through Scal, which is sure cuts a lot, and I open it. I save it as an SVG in Business Edition, open it in Scal because it opens at the proper size, and then I save it within Scal as a Cricut compatible SVG, and then that locks the size, and then I can load it. Or I just design in Illustrator, and I could get into all the technical details of why you have to go through all that rigmarole, but that's why. Because Design Space runs on a different DPI, dots per inch, in the design, which you're like, well, why does that matter with a Scal or with an SVG file? Because it should be a vector file and scalable. But because of the way Design Space works, it will resize SVGs if they aren't locked, and you don't have a way to do that in Studio. So let's get started. It's a little chunky to do it. So if it was me, I'd just go out and buy a Cameo, but let me see if I can help explain this. So we're going to go back. If you watched video 7, you know that we created, we deleted the black lines, and I am now down to just my red cut lines, my blue score lines, and we moved all of our labels over each piece and then created the number of pieces we would need. So I needed 4 of the letter E, 2 Ds, 2 As, for example. And now I have all of my chipboard and my cardstock pieces. So I'm going to save this file. Wrong place. Yeah, we can save it to the hard drive. Desktop. Okay, perfect. And I'm going to call this Cricut Cardstock because I'm only going to use it to bring it into Cricut. So you save that as a studio file. And then you need to go to your browser and you need to go to idisrussoftware.uk. Okay, this is it does a lot of different conversions. You can make book folding patterns. It does all kinds of stuff. There is the ability to convert studio files to SVG. I wouldn't recommend using this if you're trying to convert print and cuts, really complex files where you're trying to bring in PNGs, JPEGs, all of those items. But it works pretty good for these simple line pieces. So the first thing you do is you choose a file. And my file was Cricut Cardstock. Oh, I typed it with an L, but that's all right. I'm going to choose that file. Okay, and it shows there. And then I'm going to convert that studio file to an SVG. And you just click on that. Okay, it only lets you do 9 every day free. You can buy some additional ones if you want, but you can do 9. Then you're going to download that linked file to your downloads. Okay, so it's right there. You notice that it now says Cricut Cardstock. We're going to pretend I spelled it right. .svg. All right, now let's open Design Space. Okay, we're going to do a new project, and we need to upload that file. And I was doing some tests, so that's what all of this is. But let's upload an image, and you can find it, or you could just drag it and drop it. Okay, there's my file, and I want to save it. Let's at least fix my typo. And you can put some tags in here if you want to, like mini album. Let's put Country Craft Creations. That'll just help me find it down the road months later. Okay, now you're going to click on that file, and we want to insert that image. I have a little bouncing silhouette. Let's just minimize that. Okay, so where is all this stuff? There it is. So there's all of my pieces. And if you look at these pieces, the entire set uploads, and it's all grouped together. So you'll notice if I click on just one item, it won't let me select that. It takes me to everything. And that's okay, because we're going to fix that in a minute. Okay. See how all my pieces are in here? Now you'll notice some of them look kind of weird because this has the letter F on it. This one does not. The reason is that letter F is hiding behind there. Some of them you see the score lines on these. These you don't see the score lines. When it comes into Design Space, it's going to make, first of all, it's going to convert everything to a cut line no matter what you do. And secondly, it's going to put them, it plays with the layers and how things are layered. So once you bring it into Design Space, we're going to have to do some cleanup here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to ungroup. Okay, and we need to ungroup because we have some work to do. Okay, now at least we can look at each individual piece. But the first thing we need to do is we don't want to cut any of our labels out. So hold down your Control key. Whoops, wrong key. Either your Command or on a Mac. On a Mac it's Command, on a computer it'll be Control, and pick up all of these letters. Every single one of them. Okay, these are your labels, and unfortunately Design Space does not have a good way to label things. But we're going to come in here, we're going to pick up every single one of our labels. Okay, and we're going to come up here and we're going to make that line type a draw. Okay, that's the first thing we want to do. We are then going to go to the top and wherever you have, it looks like it's missing, but those are your score lines. So you want to collect each of those. Again, holding down your Command key if you're on a Mac, or Control key if you're on a computer, I believe. And you're going to pick up every single one of your score lines. And you're going to convert those to score lines. Okay? Now we have the Cricut drawing our letters. We have the Cricut cutting the actual cardstock or chipboard piece. And you'll notice that they've turned red. Cricut fills in the color of your cut line. And we have our score lines all showing as score lines. Now we need to, on each piece, go back and you need to attach your score lines to your cup piece, because let me show you what happens. If I send this to Make It right now, it's going to put all my score lines on one page with my letters, because that's what you're going to draw. Here's the rest of your drawing. Here's your cuts that are chipboard. And here is your cardstock. And that's not what we want. We want to be able to score and cut the same piece. So let's go find this piece first. Okay. Okay, here we are. So we're going to deal with this cover piece first. Okay, there's no score lines on this. So we want to make sure that we have perfect. All right, so we have our piece and our letters. Okay, but we want them to stay together, so we're going to take them and we have to attach them. Okay, now it won't look any different here, but now it's going to keep that CVR on top of that piece, and that's all been attached. Okay, now we're going to come over to our next piece, which is our other cover piece. And again, there's no score lines, but we want to attach that. So now our label is attached to our piece. Cardstock. We want to take this piece and this piece, and we want to attach them. We want to take the next ones, and you can select the top one, select them, and you want to attach. Oops, what did I do there? Yeah, okay. So we have that one attached, we have this one attached, we have this one attached. Now we have to take a score line, that cut, and that draw, and we want to attach those. This one, I think I have an error in my file. Oh no, there's two score lines on PC. Okay, and we want to attach. And this one through this one, we want to attach. Okay, then we're going to come down to this one. Bear with me here. Let's find this piece. Okay, we're going to have to do this a little differently. I hate Cricut. Okay, so we have, let's click on each piece. We have our cover piece, and it's attached. We have this cover piece, and it's attached. We've got this piece, and that's attached. Okay, those are not. So let's attach those. And we have our B pieces. That should be 2, and it is. So we're going to attach those. And then we're going to come down to this row. Kind of hunting for my pieces here. There we go. All right, here's C. And we want to attach those. And then we have, Okay, now this one, you'll notice our letter isn't here because it's in a different layer, but that's okay. We can take this and we can send it to the back. And then we can take, well, let's take our D. Is that where I'm at? I hate how this jumps around. Yeah, there we are. Okay, so we're going to take this D and we are going to, it won't let me send it to the front. Why not? What if I take it here? Oh, I can do that. Perfect. Maybe. No, won't let you reorder it. Huh. All right, well, let's do this. Let's go back up to our piece. Okay. Now, if you click on this eyeball right here, it removes that piece. Now I can find my D. Okay, let's ungroup this piece. That'll help. There we go. Let's take this D, arrange it, send it to the front, and now we'll turn this on. Don't you love how it bounces around? Ugh. Okay, now we're going to select all three of those pieces, and we're going to attach. Now it'll all stay together. Now let's go over to this piece. Okay. The other thing you can do, if it's easier, is you certainly can only create one D and then you can do a duplicate, which quite frankly, let's do that. It'll be faster. Let's get rid of this mess, and this mess. Okay, if you only want to create one D, you can take that and then duplicate it. All right, now you have two of them. All right, then you don't have to keep attaching all of this stuff all the time. Okay, let's take this one. Let's ungroup this. There we go. And somewhere in here is a hidden E. Okay, there's my E, and we're going to arrange it, and we're going to send it to the front. And then we are going to select that piece plus my two score lines, and we're going to attach. So now I have my E piece, and we're going to duplicate that. I need 4 of them. Okay, and down here should be my F's. Oh, I see they were fun too. All right, and we are going to, where did I lose my F? Huh. All right, we're going to take that and the score line, and we're going to attach. Okay, and let's take this here. It does some screwy things sometimes. Let's see where my F is. There's my F. Let's duplicate that F. And let's put it on top of this piece. Okay, now we're going to take that F, whoops, and go ahead and attach it to that piece. Okay, so let's attach. Okay, so now we have those attached. And you know what else I don't like? Wait, let's detach those. And here's what I'm not liking. Let's pick the red piece and let's send it to the back. Because for some reason I've lost my score lines. This is why I hate this stuff. I'm not a big Cricut fan. nope, score lines are there. So let's turn that off. Oh, there they are. And I get 2 Fs. So oh, okay, I can tell you what they're doing. Okay, let's take these. For some reason they're grouped together, but we can fix that. Let's detach. Good. Okay. Now let's get rid of one of these Fs. Okay, here's how you get rid of them, and I always forget you have to like turn that eyeball on, and that should get rid, yeah, of my extra piece. Okay, and then let's turn this on. Ugh, hate how it always goes back to center. Okay, now we're going to send that to the back. Now I have my letter, I have my score lines, and I have that in the right order. So let's select those 3, and we're going to attach them. There we go. Now we got the same thing going on here. Let's see if I can do this one a little nicer. We're going to arrange it. We're going to send that to the back. There we go. And there's my score lines, my label, and I'm going to attach. Okay, and then I have 2 G's. So we can take this and delete that. And what we'll do is we'll do a duplication here. So let's take this and send it to the back. All right, let's turn that off. Oh, wait, maybe it's because it's grouped. Hold on. G, let's see. Yep, so we got to ungroup it. That way we can play with each piece individually. We're going to take this red piece. We're going to send it to the back. Now you have your label as a draw, your score line, and you have your cut piece. And let's attach those. And then we're going to duplicate that. Okay. Then you have your H pieces. And of course they aren't quite right either. Let's take these and let's arrange and send that to the back. Now your score line and your letter is all on top, and we're going to attach. And it doesn't really matter if they're on top. I like to do that probably because that's what I'm used to. All right, so we're going to take this red one and let's also send it to the back. And I like to make sure my score lines are where they make sense. And now we're going to attach those things. All right. Now that everything is attached, we've turned things to score line. When you send it to make it, now you get the mats that you want. There's your first chipboard mat. There's your second chipboard mat. There's your cover. There's your cover. Now Cricut, do not ask me why they stuck F on top of there, because we certainly don't want it cutting like that. But you can move it. You can rotate it. If it still doesn't fit, we can move it to another mat. Another fun thing I love about Cricut, but you know, one step at a time. How do you move it? You click on this and you say move object. And let's move it to, looks like it might fit on mat 6, so let's confirm that. Yep, and let's move it. See, Cricut's got weird spacing on stuff. Let's see. It doesn't like it there either. So let's see if we can put it on, let's see if we can put it on 8. Oh, I know I can fit it on there, so let's just do that. Okay. So let's go back and look at all of our mats. You got E. Now, I quite often move my pieces around because I find that Cricut's really lousy and they require a lot more mats than are necessary. So I would move my pieces around, but I won't waste everybody's time with that now. All right, and then you're going to click continue. I'm not sure it's going to do anything else. Yeah, because I don't have mine connected. But what's going to happen is you're going to put it in and it's going to tell you to put your pin in place. You can choose to put a pencil into your machine if you want and have it draw the letters for you. I don't do that. So what I would do is send the draw through. Just don't put anything in there. It'll move around and think it's drawing, but it won't. And then you'll do the cut. Take that mat off. When you get to like mat 5, for example, we have score lines. It'll ask for your scoring tool. You send the score tool through. Don't remove your mat. Then you do the blank draw. And then you do the cut. So you kind of have to play games to get this to work in Cricut. But that's how you can take Silhouette Studio, get it into a format that the maker can read, and then you've got to do your ungrouping and then attach. You might ask, let's go back to Silhouette now. You might ask, well, why did we go through and attach all of these? Well, the reason we did that is if you don't attach them to get them into an SVG to then bring them into Maker, if you don't attach them, when they come into Maker, all your score lines are going to be jammed up into the very corner of Maker, and you won't have them in the proper placement on the pieces. Couple other hints I would give you. You know how we have 4 E's, we have 2 D's, we have 2 A's. I wouldn't do that. I would probably, let's do it one more time. I would take these D's out of here. I would take all of these E's out of here. And to make this all easier to find, to be honest, let's do one more test. I would group all of these. I would start here because that's like the 0 mark for the Cricut usually. And I would group all of these much closer together. Like this. Let's see if that makes us happier in Design Space. What the heck? I'm happy to test something with you guys. Okay. And boy, it doesn't look like my H is grouped. Let's group it. Let's group this H. It's probably why I had such a hard time with my lettering. Did you notice how everything was like funky and weird with some of these? Let's make sure G's grouped. Okay. Now, let's save that as Cricut Cardstock 2. Okay? So let's save that. Now we're going to go back in here. We're going to go to iDiz RS software. We are going to choose my file, Cricut Cardstock 2. And let's convert it. It is definitely cumbersome to do this, but it's doable. I'm proving that. Okay, and download the link file. Okay, now let's come in here, open Design Space, cancel where we were. We want to cancel the cut. And I want to come over here, go to my canvas, and I want to do, let's just do a whole new project, and we'll replace what's there now. Okay, we're going to upload an image. Okay, same thing we did before. See how it just fits so much better? And we'll save that. And now let's bring this into Design Space and see what happens. Now, the good news is you notice how it started right up here in the corner. And it's much easier to see your pieces. We still have some of the same cleanup we have to do, and you still have to do all the attachments and put things together. But at least it starts up in this upper corner. And let's ungroup. I'm not going to do all of them, but again, you can, again, everything's cut, so you've got to go in, you've got to take each of these individual letters. Let's just find A. Well, let's find one that has a score line. Let's come down here to E. Okay, we're going to ungroup that. Now you notice now that I have these up in the corner, it doesn't bounce around nearly as badly. I'm going to take my red box, I'm going to arrange it, I'm going to send it to the back. I want to, there should be 2 sets. Ugh, I hate when it does that. We're going to take, let's send this to the back. Oh, wait. No, let's not do that. So there's my D all set. We'll take those 3 and we'll attach. There we go. Now this one's weird too. So let's take this. We ungroup. We need to send the red to the back. Okay, this would have been changed to a draw. We changed these 2 lines to a score. And again, I do them all at once. Whoops. I don't want all the lines, do I? I just want these 2 items. And to make them easier, I can just pick them up over here. And I want that to score. Okay? And then I group them. Or not group them, you're going to attach them so that they stay together. And then you can make a duplicate of it. Okay, I think I need 4 of those. So now I have all 4 of my E's. So if you go to make it, you're going to get the jumbled mess, except somewhere down here, we're going to have some nice letter A E's, because see how they're kept together? So that's how you do it. And again, the reason I did it a second time going back to Studio is once you have everything set up, if you're moving to Cricut, I would recommend you only have one of everything. You want each label, cut, and score line to be grouped together. And you want to start your little grouping up in this upper left-hand corner of the cutting area and the mat in Silhouette Studio, because then when you go to convert it, it shows up much better in Design Space. Hope that was instructive. I don't work a whole lot in Cricut Design Space because, as you can tell, I am not a fan, but I wanted to make sure all the Cricut users out there could use all of my videos and be taught how to, without buying any other software, use the free version of Silhouette Studio to do designing and bring it in for the Cricut Maker. Thanks for watching. Bye.